Cool. Now I'm just going to bring up my slide presentation. I organized a few slides today for this webinar. Hopefully those are available. If they're not, then it'll be okay. It's not the end of the world, but hopefully they are available. So give me just a moment. I'm just going to find these and let me know so far. What do you think about Revamply? I know that many of you got in. Now the price has now increased to $67 per month. And a lot of people have been actually messaging us asking to lower it to a one-off cost again. Unfortunately, we're not doing that, so you guys reserved the best price you could have for that, which is great. So it means, you know, you've got access to this now continually for a one-off cost on that front end, and then you've got the pro features and all the upgrades coming as well at a much lower cost than they are available now, which is great. So cool. I'm getting some good, yes, positive, good. I'm just gonna bring up my slides right now. 1 second. Here we are. And cool. Right. And one of the reasons that I wanted to run this webinar is get your feedback on the software so far and see also how we could, help you out in any way moving forward, what you're looking for, help in your business. This webinar is going to be recorded. It's actually being recorded right now. And I will be releasing a replay to you after this training event. Now, there is training, John. It's located in the training area and tutorials. I'll show you where that is today. We're adding more into that. I don't think the developers updated the most recent training, but I've actually, if you got access to that agency package, put a 1 in the box if you got access to that agency package. One of the things that I did, it was only $67, so it was a low cost, but one of the things I decided to do is, after talking with people on a webinar that we were doing, I started to actually add one of my courses in there for free. It's called Copycat Social, and it's a full offline marketing training course, and as well as a new product that I haven't actually released yet. It's a training product going into a $1,500 product training product of mine that I'm releasing in a couple of months' time, and it's available in there right now. It wasn't previously available, but it's in there right now, and it's about 40 pages, and it goes through how to start an offline business right from the ground up and how to, attract clients, even if you're not necessarily good at selling. It'll actually, take you through the whole process of walking through and going through and helping businesses. So really useful training that will be available as well in there too. So hopefully that is very good as well. Now, we did have a slight issue with Copycat Social, and I'm actually just about to fix that. Right now, for whatever reason, it only installs, you can only access it through Firefox if you're in the Firefox browser. So I think it might be a WordPress needs an upgrade. So I'm going to be upgrading that WordPress and getting that added in to it as well. We might just install the entire program inside of the training area, so you can actually just access all the training videos from within your training area. But we're working on that at the moment. So, all right. So I hope you're excited about this webinar today. I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes for everyone to come on. I think that we should have a good turnout today. So first of all, I wanted to ask you, what are the 2 biggest questions you have that you want answered for this webinar today? What are the 2 biggest things you want me to show? And what are the 2 biggest things that you would like to see? The reason I'm asking that is, if I don't know what you want and what you need help with, then it'll be difficult for me to get to that. So I want to make sure that everything we cover today is really relevant and going to be useful in your business. So I'm going to read your questions. I'm not going to answer them, but I will read them out. Okay, do you really have to get permission from site owners if you are using the site as a framework, but changing all the copy, background colors, etc., Dave? Dave, it's different worldwide. Now, one of the reasons we've got a really strict policy in that we ask for permission is that, if you're in the United States, for example, your laws for copyright are very strict. And we talked to a number of lawyers. We got advice about this. We talked to lawyers in the United States. We talked to lawyers in, overseas countries like Singapore. And the copyright laws in some places are non-existent. Say China, for example. Good luck at getting done for a copyright laws. If you're in China, it's not going to happen. But if you're in the States, it's very blurred as in terms of what you can use, what you can't use, and it just really takes one website to get angry and upset that they see something similar to try and take your site down. So one of the reasons that we say get permission is so that doesn't happen. The last thing we want is for our members, our users to get in a situation where their site gets taken down because of a copyright misuse. And that again depends on where you are in the world, and it depends on what laws you are in. So my advice is that I would see a lawyer locally, Dave. If you want to make sure that you're doing right, and you know you are going to use the software correctly, but you want to push the envelope a little bit, you'll want to make sure that you get a lawyer to look over it and make sure that you get a lawyer's advice. That's the best advice that I can give you, and it is worth paying for that. You know, for a lawyer, they may even do a free consultation with you, and you'll be able to then just bring that up with them and talk to them about that for your local area. You know, there's no risk at all if you've got the website owner's permission, but there's always going to be a risk if you don't. You know, if you use a website and you don't know what your local laws are. So, you know, and there's nothing that we can tell you to educate you about that. Unfortunately, I wish I could say, you know, do this or do that, but, you know, we're not lawyers ourselves. We rely on the advice of our lawyers, and our lawyers' advice was that we make sure it's very clear to people that they needed permission from to use this website. That's the safest thing that we can do by them. And, you know, if they want to go out and get local advice on what they can and can't use, then yeah, for all means go and do that and follow your lawyer's advice. But that's just to make sure, and it's a really important point, and I'm glad you brought it up because of that, because we do want to make sure everyone's protected and using the software correctly. Cool. Now, is there a Revamply Facebook group? Now, Avi, good question. We were planning on creating one, and we may have one very soon. I need to talk to my partner about that. Right now, most of the communication about Revamply has been done on my forum, backersboard.com. You may have seen that. You might be a member. We've done a lot of the communication through there. However, a Facebook group is a good idea, and we may look at doing that in future very soon. You know, you'll be the first to know if we do. We'll send an email out to you with that update. How do you insert the publish code in a WordPress blog? Cool, I can show you that. This information should be included in the training videos. It is. I've done a video on that. Hopefully it's up. I'll show you where it is, Daniel. I've done a video on that. Cool. How to insert the, yep, cool, same question. All right, good. But I'll show you on the webinar anyway, Daniel. Using the model other sites to hack the site. Using to model other sites to hack the site. Be more specific with that, Tom. It sounds like we're about to hack a website. I have a video hosted on AS3, Amazon Servers 3, I believe that is. When I tried to put a link inside the video player, I got an error. Oh, very weird. It might be Lucy. It might be a permissions issue. So it might be a permissions issue. Now, Amazon requires certain permissions. So I'll cover that in this training video. Training webinar. I'm trying to get to work with a Joomla site I own, but designed by a developer I do not have contact with anymore. Philip, the best thing you can do with a Joomla website, and I've worked with Joomla a long time ago, you need to get into the code, the HTML code. So I'd Google it, just say, hey, can I get into the HTML code? If you can, then you can. If you can't, then you can't. One moment, we just got a something to deal with here. Cool. So, you may want to talk to a developer about that, or Philip, even email our support, and we've got a developer that can probably help you with that. Cool. An element that would be very important to add is a HTML box where code could be added to add a pop-up box or an autoresponder that is not listed, or a video. Is there plans to add a element anytime soon? An element that would be very important. Okay. Yes, Daniel, I'll address that here. Cool. All right, good. And getting a few more questions here as well. What's the forum? The forum it's free to sign up for at the moment. It's going to be paid very soon, but if you can sign up now, it's free for you. It's backersboard.com/forum. So, you know, sign up here. You'll see a registration to a place to sign up, and you'll be able to sign up there. If we upload a website we don't own, however, we do make significant changes, how do we save that, since we obviously don't have the login info for the site? Okay, now, Joseph, the only way to use someone else's website in order to create your own page is with the OTO1. You need the OTO1 upgrade, otherwise it's not possible, okay, because you can't add your embed code to another website. You need it added to your site. So the only way to do that is by getting the OTO1. What are the limits of Revamply? Number of pages per site, something like that. Now, the limits of Revamply, if you've got the OTO1, there is no limits. If you've got the front end, then there are some limits. The limits are that you can only use 25,000 visitors per month, and the other thing is that it's a 500 pages. You can only add 500 pages at any one time. So something to be aware of there. That yeah, that's basically how that is. Cool. What's the forum again? Yep, I posted that. Can you do a walkthrough of how to clone a site? Yes, I can. Do you mean we need to get permission from people we have our sites on? For instance, Site Builder before we use the software to better build our website. Linda, if you've created a website on a Site Builder, then and it's someone else's Site Builder and it looks like it's a template from their Site Builder, I'd recommend getting in touch with them. If it's completely different, say if you're using Optimized Press and WordPress, for example, then I don't think there'll be any problems. As long as you've changed the template around significantly, I don't think there'll be any problems. Cool. An HTML element would be quite useful. Cool. We're looking at doing that. I'll definitely talk to the developer about that very soon. That's one of the parts that we do need to work on. First priority has been the mobile responsiveness, and you'll have seen that we pushed an update on the 16th of July that made it mobile responsive. Go.to1, how do I do the deal? Go.to1, how do I do the deal? Could you be more specific, Philip? Thank you. Cool. All right. No worries. So that's most of the questions that have been covered. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. There's quite a few questions here, but repost it and I will cover it during the webinar again. So let's get into it. What I wanted to show you is, first of all, I wanted to show you a demonstration of the software in action. You know how it works, what's inside. Today you're going to get one final chance to get one of the upgrades. All right. So you can get an upgrade today. It's the final chance. After I believe it's tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. EST. We're going to take those upgrades off completely, and they're not going to be available. So if you do want to get access before that happens, then make sure that you do get in, obviously, before that happens. All right, so here's what you're getting access to within the Revamply software. We've got these websites here. You've got Revamply. You can add a website to Revamply and start changing it as you want. If you've got the OTO1, you can add whatever website, customize whatever website. If you've got the front end, then you need access to your website to add an embed code. You also get the ability within the front end to split test as many sites as you want, which is really quite cool. And the price that you got was $37 monthly, $147 yearly, or $197 one off. Now you'll see already that we've increased the price of this to $67 monthly, and it's going to keep on going up the more users that we have coming in. Now with this, you can get you can edit any web pages of your own. You can do any A/B split testing. You can integrate with as many apps as you want, or we add into the software. It includes all drag and drop features. Add and edit up to 500 pages. Get 25,000 views every single month, and you've got support that's included with that. So you may have already tested out our support. I hope you have. We've actually had to bring on 2 more people during this launch in order to adequately help everyone, and I hope that we're doing a good job by you as well. All right, so let's get into this. So this is the software right here, as you can see. And the agency package is the OTO2, and I'll go into that, and I'll go into the OTO1 as well in just a moment. So what we've got in here is we've got, as you can see, we've got our websites located down here. And if we want to add a new website, we click this right here. Okay, so we could add whatever website we wanted to right now. Now what we could do is, if we wanted to, we could, we're going to go into one of our sites that we've edited. Now I got permission by Josh of Igloo to actually edit his website. He gave me permission to do that, and we actually built the Revamply sales page off Josh's Igloo sales page, which is quite cool when you think about it. So we were able to do that because we had permission and we liked the template, and we were able to use Revamply to do all that editing. So this is what the editor looks like right here. And you're going to see it in just a moment. We've now got our elements up and we're editing. Now today I'm on a much smaller screen that you will have seen my other demonstrations on. I'm actually using a 13-inch screen, and you can see here that it's all interchangeable, all editable, and all fully customizable. So if we were to select an element like this one right here, it brings it up. We can edit that as we want to. All right. Click OK. We can also use and we can also delete any pop-ups. I would recommend deleting any pop-ups that pop up. The reason being that the pop-ups that pop up, they will occasionally pop up, but you can add your own pop-ups with this software, so there's no real need to do that. You can also animate images as you want as well. So you could do a rubber band effect, swing effect, or wobble effect, ta-da, shake, and pulse. You also do a bounce effect and any of that as well. I'm just going to cross this right here. Cool. And we could delete this as well. And you've also got access to the settings, the page settings, which is important. So let's go into page settings right now. Now, for whatever reason, it's not letting me click on page settings, so I'll go back into that in just a moment. Cool, so we've got a color dropper. We've got also these different elements here. Now, we can, at any point in time, we can add in these different elements. We can add in like a sticky opt-in if we wanted to, one of these opt-ins right here, to the side of our website. And that would appear right here, down our website. We can delete this if we wanted to as well. We can remove it. We can edit any parts of this website as we want. We can also go ahead, if we go back, we can add in headlines. We can edit headlines within the software. And we can also, once we've done the changes, click Save. And then we can go into variations. And we can actually load up or create a new variation. So you could say test 4, for example. Create variation and load. We've loaded up our new variation, and once again we're able to start editing this new variation. So that's how the split testing is done. You create multiple variations each time you make a change to the website, and it will then reflect those changes.
It seems like you need loads of specific marketing knowledge and skills just to get you started. What you need is a sales.
Cool, so I'm just going to delete that video because it was playing for me. You can actually stop an autoplay video from playing, depending on whereabouts it's hosted. Now, sometimes you'll find that it's a bit difficult to edit some pieces of code. Unfortunately, we're working on that, but sometimes a website isn't very well coded. This website, fortunately, is quite well coded. However, others do have some issues. So if you do come into one of those issues, the best thing you can do is delete the element and then re-add a new element from the Revamply software. All right. We can also add buttons. We can customize the backgrounds. We can customize the look and feel of this if we wanted to. We could remove it. We've also got the ability to, edit any part of this text. Double click and edit the text as well as we wanted to. So, all really quite easy and made possible with the Revamply software as well. So if we go down, we can as well edit any parts of this. You'll see the whole website has been edited or become editable basically. I'm just going to delete this pop-up once more. Delete again. And we'll go like this. Cool, we'll just wait for this to acknowledge that the pop-up has been deleted. And you'll see page settings here. So while it's happening, we can edit the title of a website. We can edit, if we want to, the favicon, the CSS coding, add a Facebook pixel. We can add scripts if we want to as well. And we can add redirects. We can also use a color dropper to customize the look of a particular element or the look of an entire background if we wanted to. If I can find where the background module is, I'll just find this now. 1 second. So you see sometimes everything's split up. There it is, there's the background. So here you go, so I've edited that background. All right, so that's what you're able to do within the editor. Now, are there any questions about using the editor in itself? All right, so do we have any questions on editing inside of this? Can it be used in a Shopify store, Tom? Yes, it can. Yep, good question, it can. Cool, and Stephen's given me a website that he wants me to try out. Now, some websites, if they're done in iframes or if they're poorly coded, then you won't be able to edit them. And that's just reality of the software. What I recommend doing is emailing our support desk, and our developer will be able to actually have a look at the particular website that you want to edit, the particular page, and they'll be able to provide some advice on that. Okay, so if you do have any issues like that, then make sure that that you go ahead and edit or deliver or ask the developer to change that. I've found a few websites that weren't editable within Revamply, and it's just a matter of sometimes the code isn't great. So in that when you come up against that, what I recommend doing is finding a better template to work off or a different site to work off. How extensive are the fonts? I can show you right here. Cool. So if we go into here, we'll see, have a look at the fonts. We go into headline, for example. We can drag one of these headlines in, and we'll have a look at the fonts. So once again, click X, double click. We can then have a look, and we can have a look at down here. So these are the fonts that are available right now. And right now we don't have a new way or any way of installing new fonts into this editor. We will look at doing that eventually in the future, but right now these are the fonts that are available. Cool, and you'll be able to see these within the editor and use them as well. Yeah, Lato is probably one of the best fonts that we have in here. Lato is probably one of the most flexible. All right, cool. So that's I don't see any questions here about the editor or the Elements editor specifically. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click Save, and we're going to click Publish. Now, if we click Publish, what you'll see is it says, do you have another variation active for this page? If you still want to publish these changes and want to make this variation active, press Proceed. Once this variation is active, traffic will be split evenly between all of your active variations, including this variation that's been activated. So that's really important. Now, when you activate a variation, it means that, say if you get 100 visitors to your particular page, what that'll mean is if you've got 2 variations running, 50 people will go to one page and 50 will go to another. All right, so you've got a complete exact split of that traffic, and that'll give you the best indication of which change is converting the best and which web page is also converting the best as well. So if you've made some edits to your headline, you'll be able to see based on that, which one is performing the best. Cool. Bent, if you have access to Igloo and you want to use some of their templates, if they're fully changed, then I don't think there'll be a problem there. If you want to get in touch with Igloo, I know that Igloo has a support desk that's quite helpful, and they were able to, let us know that it was fine for us to use this as an example. If you want to get in touch with them personally, you can. I don't think you'll have any issues with using this with Igloo. The creators of Igloo actually promoted this builder. They actually suggested using this software with Igloo, so that's a good indication that it's probably fine for you to use this with your Igloo editor. They really complement each other well, and if they work together well, then I don't think you have any problems, especially considering that they promoted the software as well. I don't think you have any issues. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to click Save, and we'll go over to our Revamply desktop page right here. Cool, so we've done our edits. We've got our split tests up here. We've got all of them listed here. If we wanted to activate one of our other variations, we could click Activate. If we noticed the one activation wasn't performing as well as the others, we'd click Deactivate Variation. You've got your page views here as well. You've got your visitors here as well for those that have the front end and not the OTO1. And you've also got your recent activity that's based here as well. We also have tutorials here. You can go to the tutorial page right here by clicking on this button, and you'll see tutorials being added right here. We've also got our last training webinar located here. We've got training on adding to WordPress right here, WordPress installation for OTO1 users, and we've also got a list of the pro features. We have agency access here. We've got the local kickstarting guide here. And you'll see also Copycat Social, which will be added in here as well. We're just sorting out a minor issue with it as well, and that's going to be added. The link will be re-added here very soon as well. Cool. Now, if you've got access to the OTO1, you'll notice that there's one particular feature that is slightly different, and that's this download feature right here. You'll be able to download your pages, and that means that you can host them on your own server. The advantage of doing that is that you'll basically be able to go ahead and you'll be able to export that into any sort of website you want to. All right, so if you've got it on one server, you want to put it on another, you can do that. If you've got it on WordPress but you want to make it into an HTML website, then you can do that as well. Cool. All right, so now we do have an update that was pushed on the 16th of July for mobile responsiveness, and I've got a comment from Jerome here about one of the parts that he had changed not being mobile responsive. It's very difficult to do mobile responsiveness and iPad responsiveness. We had actually completed it before launch, but we noticed that there was a few issues with it and we turned it off. On the 16th of July, we reactivated it, and we've been working on that as the main part that we're working on right now, and it's not yet perfect. We've got, at 95% correct. but sometimes it does happen that it's not mobile responsive. So the best thing you can do in that is, and what we're doing very soon is hold on, we're going to be adding an update very soon that'll give you full customization of a mobile device. And what that means is you'll be able to actually fully customize a mobile device when it's on your on your website. So you'll be able to customize, basically as you customize your Revamply site, you'll also be able to customize that that web page as well. So you'll be able to customize the mobile side of things with Revamply as well. So you can know that it's perfectly going to work fine because you can see a preview on the website of it being mobile responsive. So that's something that I need to talk to the developer about when that's going to be released. That's something that's being worked on right now, and I don't think it'll be too far away, but it's going to be a little bit of time probably. But I'll send out an email with announcing the update, announcing that feature is now available, and that'll be available, I hope, very soon. So look out for that. That'll be coming very soon. So that's the download feature that's available with this. There's also analytics as well, which is included here. If you go into analytics, you'll be able to see that here, and you'll be able to see your total views for all the variations and how your tests have done as well. So useful feature that should be quite good, I would say. Awesome. Now, if we go back to the Revamply dashboard, what we also can do is we can actually go to our agency package. Now, agency package is located right in here. Cool. So you've got this thing called users, and this is where you can actually add people as users into your Revamply dashboard. Now you can assign specific pages and web pages that they are assigned to. So say, for example, if I was working with projectmanager.com and that was the main website that I was dealing with, and I was working with them, and I was hoping that they would like the changes that I wanted to do, what I could do is I could actually add them in here. I could add them in for a specific web page, and then I could send them an account to Revamply. So they would actually be able to log in, and they'll be able to see those changes and approve them, or make changes that they wanted to as well. You could collaborate where you actually get an outsourcer to do all the work for you. And what that means is that the outsourcer would actually be able to go ahead and install all your changes, create completely customized websites for clients or web pages for clients, and then they would be able to push those changes live. You could actually take it to the client, say, hey, this is going to cost $1,500 if you wanted me to push these edits that we did live on your website. And if they approved that, they said, yes, that sounds good, then you could go ahead and push that change. So that's a really cool feature that's also available with this particular software. So you can actually collaborate on pages. So you basically add a user here, and then from there what you're able to do is you're able to go across and you're able to go into the dashboard, and you'll be able to share one of your pages with a client. So you'll actually be able to share a page. So you could go in here, click on this, and we could go, say for example, and it's not showing up here, but it will show up here, share. And you can actually share a page, and you can share all the variations that you've done as well, which is really quite cool. So we click share, we then choose which user we wanted to share this particular page with, and then from there we could go ahead and activate that change. Say Tom, we're going to share it with him. We click share. He receives an email that says, hey, a new website's just been shared with you, and then he can log in and preview it. The other thing you can do is you can actually send a preview of this particular page or variation to a client. So you could go into this inside the editor. You can then go ahead, you can click on this, preview. You can actually send this preview link, and your client or whoever you're talking to will be able to preview that link through there, which is quite cool. How do you edit a website when there are 5 pages or so? Now, unfortunately, we can't edit the whole entire website. The best thing that you can do is edit every individual page, which is unfortunate. I know it's not ideal. Whoops, I've crossed that. App.revamply. One of the best things you could do, or the best thing you could do, is you could actually go ahead and edit the page within Revamply and edit each individual page and then add the changes. It's unfortunate that you have to do all that for one page, but right now that's the only way you can do that. We will look at adding a multi-page version very soon. There's a few updates we're looking to push that have come out of this launch as suggestions, and we're working hard to do those. So one of the other changes that we're looking to do very soon will basically allow you to customize your website in a few additional ways, and we're going to bring in that very soon. So you'll hear more about these updates, these changes as they happen. If a client is paying monthly, can you turn off or disable the service if the client has not paid and then turn it back on when the client pays? That's a good feature. I don't think we can yet. I'll just check. It would be in users if you can do that. One of the things you could do, and I'll just see if this is possible, what you could do is you just turn them off, just cancel their membership here. You could actually just delete them from here. We could delete this user, and then what you'd do is you'd re-add them to that particular page you were editing when they paid you again. So yeah, you can do that. You can turn off the changes as well, because you can go like this. You can go over here. You could go here, and you could you'd probably have to delete one of their changes then if that was the case. So right now you can't turn it off. You can turn them off from being able to view it. You can't turn it off their website right now without deleting the entire install. So what I'd probably recommend doing, just disabling their login access, and we'll look at adding in that as a feature. Avi, the best thing you can do is probably suggest it as a feature request, and we'll get those and we'll look to action as many of those as possible, because it is a good suggestion. I think that's something that we would like to add into the software. All right, cool. So that's basically the software in itself. We've got an applications menu here. We have all of the different applications that are located here as well, and we've also got WordPress here as well. Now WordPress is really easy to use. You go in here, you click download Revamply WordPress plugin. You click download Revamply WordPress plugin. You then go out and you go to your WordPress page. So I'm going to go and bring up a WordPress installation right now, and I'll show you how this works. Now, if you've got the OTO1, you want to install this plugin. It's really easy to do that. It's an OTO1 feature, and you can basically go in and you can edit this as you want to. We can go into all pages. You'll see the Revamply plugin is installed. You just install it like a regular plugin on WordPress. Click on plugin and it will allow you to install it. And then from there, we go into the edit. We can go into here, we'll go into here, edit, and then we click on the button that's the big Revamply button. And it clicks update here. Cool. Edit with Revamply. Now I was just doing some changes previously. I'm just going to click edit now, and it's going to load up the editor. So that's how the WordPress plugin works. It works really easily, and when you click save and publish, when you click publish, it's going to push those changes onto WordPress. Cool. Now right now there is PayPal integration. Or there was PayPal integration. It doesn't appear that the PayPal integration's been, I think it's been removed here. So there was PayPal integration, but it's been removed by the developer for some reason. I'm assuming that's probably that that there was an issue with PayPal's API. So let me get back to you on that. There is PayPal application integration. There's meant to be PayPal integration in here, and I think that that the developers moved it, probably because there was a slight issue with PayPal's API. So let me get back to you on that, and I'm sure that will be in or added in very soon. Does Revamply save the history of all your changes? Right now, yes, it does. The only problem is that we don't, and that's one of the feature that I was about to tell you about. Right now it does show your recent activity, but we want to have a stage. So say, for example, your computer crashes, the power cuts, your computer crashes. We want to have a way of being able to revert back to your most recent change. So right now we're actually implementing, after the mobile changes we've been doing, we're actually enabling a way that you will be able to get back your site, your last edits. If you've been editing it for an hour, for example, you haven't saved it, you've forgotten to save it or publish it, this will allow you then to basically go ahead and bring back those changes and make sure that you've got that last edit that you did on your page that's there. Cool, Philip, no, WordPress plugin will only allow you to edit per page, but you can go into different pages in WordPress and you can edit them, and that's the advantage of it. So you'll be able to go into different pages in WordPress and edit them. That's the best way to do that. How to add code to WordPress head tag. You have to do that within WordPress, Karen, because it's the entire website you're talking about there. You're talking about editing something that reflects on the entire website. You can't edit, a WordPress head tag with this. You can only edit internal pages. Will there be available training for replicating a website? Now, yes, we're looking at adding on some more training very soon. I've actually been working on a few things, more make money type stuff that's coming out very soon. How to make money with Revamply. what kind of specific training would you like? Entire editing, start to finish, would that be useful, Fede? One of the things we've got is we've actually got a video. It's about 20 minutes long. We actually edit a website. We take it from the start, we edit it right through to the end. We actually show you how to edit a website right from the start till the end. Okay, if that's going to be useful, it's right now it's a demo. It's a silent demo. So what I might do is I might put some music to it, and I might add that in there, just showing a complete edit start to finish. Okay, I'll do that. Yep, I'll have that in. It'll be in within the next 24 to 48 hours. Cool. I'm getting a ton of yeses. All right, cool. We'll do that. Yep, 100%. Where is that demo? Avi, it's right now. It's on my computer, but I'll upload that, and that shows start to finish. We customize an entire website. It's a sales page of ours for a launch that we're doing, and we've been using this in the last 2 launches we've done. So you'll be able to see that as well. Very cool. Awesome. All right. Any more questions? What you can do with the OTO one, I'll give you a quick breakdown of that because I'm getting a couple of questions about that. So what you can do with that is, and I'll just double check something here. All right, I've got the wrong URL up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the URLs of the pro features, and I'll just show you that, and I'll give you the URLs of the agency as well. So right now we have the the OTO features. Can we downgrade from OTO and rejoin later? Gerald, you won't be able to rejoin for the same price. We're about to triple the price of those OTOs just because we're now going into a different market. We're targeting more businesses now, opposed from marketers, founding members, so that'll change slightly. Does it show how to edit other pages and load it on the hosting? Yes, it does. It actually goes through that entire process. Cool. So with the pro features, you're going to get all future updates and upgrades. You get unlimited views. You get unlimited pages, download pages that you can edit. Okay, you can download the pages that you edit, which is a really handy feature. True WordPress integration, as you've just seen, and 5 new professional elements per month. We're updating those elements all the time, and those are going to be added into that as well. You also get the agency package. You get developer rights. You can add outsourcers or clients. Whoa, and it's jumped out. And yeah, you can edit it up. Okay, and you can basically with the you saw the agency package. You can edit unlimited amounts of you add unlimited users, collaborate with those users, and do a whole lot with that as well. Now I'm just going to load up on my screen right now the OTO 1 and the OTO 2. This is going to be the final chance you can get access to it. Tomorrow we will close this down. We won't close it down, it'll just increase in price substantially. So you will be able to get it tomorrow, but for triple the price. So revamply.net/special/upgrade1. All right, so that's that. And http://revamply.net/special/upgrade2. I'm going to post these in chat. These are the 2 URLs that you're able to get access to those upgrades. If you want to get access to those upgrades, this is the final chance that you'll be able to do it. I'm going to be sending out this replay very soon, and you'll be able to then access this replay tomorrow, and that'll be the final chance for people to get access to it. Okay, good suggestion, Daniel. Yep, all right, I can do that. I'll go through I'll create a video with a full walkthrough showing all the different elements and what they do. There's quite an extensive lot of them. It will be a long tutorial, but I'll do that. One of the things we're working on now that the launch is finished, one of the biggest things that we've learned is that everyone wants training. We thought that, we've used the software so much, I guess we forgot that was the case, that we need to add more training into it. So we're going to be adding in more training. You're going to see much more coming in over the next week, and that's the main focus for us, is adding in that training. All right, 1 second. I think the developer may have taken it down prematurely, those URLs. So I'm just going to get in touch with them because I did ask for them to stay up. I said expires on Sunday. Cool. I think what's happened is the developers, without telling me, removed those at the wrong date. I think he's removed it according to his time and not my time, and we did have a delay, so it may be that. So what you'll see is those you'll be able to get access to those upgrades. I'm going to reactivate that. Check back in tomorrow, and you'll get 24 hours from tomorrow to get access to those. So look out for that. That'll be available very soon. Cool, John, good suggestion. Yeah, I'll email the link. So you'll receive an email from me tomorrow, and it's going to include those upgrade links in it as well. So that'll be the final chance. You'll get about 24 hours to get access to those, and that'll be available then. And we wanted to make sure that you had another chance, and I'll include a bit more training and information in there as well, which hopefully will help as well. Awesome. All right, I think that's all the questions for today. I hope this has answered a lot of your questions. You're going to see more training coming in, and you'll see a few upgrades happening, and I'll be communicating with you via email about those as well. What's the benefit of the Revamply user relationship? John, Revamply is a software that I really liked, and I got in touch with the guys when we were about to go and launch Revamply, so I actually asked them to add that in. You can create and customize buttons inside of Usign. You can edit and images that you have for your website that you've created inside of Usign, and you can add that onto the page. So that's available there as well. Trevor, right now the other training webinar that I did is inside of the members area, the training area. You'll find it in there, and that'll be available to you there. How do you change an e-commerce site? Adam, it's much the same. You load up a page. You can only load up a single page, and then after you've loaded up that single page, go ahead and start editing it, and then you'll be able to update the changes through the HTML. Can you add a webinar registration box in the members area so we know when the future trainings will be held? Yep, Avi, I can. There is one more webinar I'm going to do on Tuesday, a final training webinar. And I'm going to do that from a bit of more of a stable location, which will be a lot better. And look out for that. I'm probably going to get on a couple of people that have been using Revamply just to show you a few of the websites that they've done and some of the changes they've done as well. And yeah, you'll see that available very soon. So that should help out as well. Do I have the rights of OTO1 when I purchased the Revamply agency license? No. Now you have to purchase the OTO1 and you have to purchase the agency separate. So if you do want to download your pages or edit other people's pages and download them, you will need to get both of those. Is it possible to insert an iframe or HTML code? Right now, Adam, one of the upgrades we're working on is adding an HTML. So right now you can't add it into an particular individual place, but we will be working on that very soon. Cool. How do you contact support? Freddie, contact my support. That's probably the best place to go right now, and they'll be able to help you. We've been working closely with Revamply support. Right now, there's a lot of tickets going into Revamply. There's been quite a few because it's a launch that's done quite well. So you'll be able to email us there now. You will be able to edit smart member sites, Michael. Yep, as long as there is HTML code that you can add the embed code to, then you can edit smart member sites. Yep. Would it be possible to change the email sent by an agency to a new user? Right now, there isn't any way of doing that. We are looking at doing that in the future. It has been a request we've got quite a few times, so look out for that very soon. Cool, Richmond. You have to add in a URL if you want to edit out someone else's website. You have the OTO1, edit or add a URL in. Okay, add a URL. And then you go ahead and you start editing that website, click save, and then download those changes. And you'll be able to then upload them to your own server. Is custom view will be available for mobile and tablet view? Yes, it'll be available, Adam. That's one of the upgrades we're adding in right now to improve the way that we are mobile responsive. Definitely. All right, well, I want to say thanks for coming on today. I'm going to close it off there and look forward to to talking with you again soon. Watch out for those new videos and watch out for an email from me coming soon as well. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks everyone for coming on today. I hope this has been good and you've had your questions answered. Look out for another webinar soon, and I look forward to emailing you out tomorrow those links as well for the upgrades if you do want to get access to those. All right, thanks for coming, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. See you later.